Well, hello and welcome to Invictus Racing League. This evening we are launching the brand new show that is, of course, The Paddock. I'm Energy Dan with one of your hosts this evening, and joining me as always is F1 racer and former F2 champion Warris Lander. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Again, pleased to be here, and hopefully I can get some good lap times in tonight.
I have no doubt you will, mate. But yeah, joining
I'm not
us,
so sure yet.
Joining us this evening is, of course, our guest drivers of Rimac and Charlie. Rimac, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Dan. Thanks for having me.
No worries. And Charlie, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good as well. Thanks for having me too.
Yeah, fantastic. So, guys, just to give you a rundown of the new show, I will give you the intro to it. Now, basically, this is a way for us to give you, the viewer, a deeper insight into the life of an Invictus racer. We're going to give you the driver reactions. We're going to give you the results of the week that we've just had. Obviously, this week is just an intro to the show. Next week, we will recap what happens in the first race of the season. We're going to get driver reactions from all of this. We'll also give you the insight into the next track that will be coming up, and the driver reactions to what they think of the upcoming track. And then, of course, we're going to have the hot laps where Warris Lander will go out and do a blistering lap around Japan. And then, of course, Rimac will do the same. And then, of course, Charlie will. Each week we will try and have different guests, but depending on who we got, it may very well be Rimac and Charlie every week pitching themselves against Warris Lander. So hopefully we get a couple of new guests in now and again, but that's how it may end up being. Right, guys, let's talk about, if you don't mind, the upcoming calendar. So, of course, Warris Lander, we've got Japan. What do you think of Japan, mate? I mean, we're doing hot laps around there tonight. Just give us your rundown on Japan if you can, mate.
I think it's certainly a tricky track. You have to. It's one of those tracks you have to do a lot of laps on if you want to get that extra bit of pace. And there's a few spots on the track as well where you can just steer in a little bit too early or too late, and your race is over. So it's really good for spectacle and also for some brave overtaking, which could make for some good racing in week one of this season.
Yeah, well, it's always a spectacle as Japan, or should I say Suzuka, in the land of the rising sun. But yeah, I think it's a difficult circuit to drive around. Not one of my favourites at all. But and then second round of the season, we then go to Abu Dhabi. Rather strange doing it so early in the season when normally it's one of the last ones we actually see. But Rimac, how are you feeling about Abu Dhabi, buddy?
Not too bad. I feel it's a fairly simple circuit, to be fair, other than that pit lane. I think the pit lane will catch a few out, including me. But no, Abu Dhabi's not too bad. I think through the first half of the calendar, it's probably the one that I'd mind the least. But
yeah, okay.
Nah, I've got okay pace round there, so I'm quite happy it's on the calendar.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. And then obviously coming into the third round of the season, we'll be obviously at Spa in Belgium. Charlie, what do you think about Spa, mate?
Yeah, it's a track I really like. Obviously, it's a very famous classic track. Very fast middle sector and long straights, so plenty of chance to overtake. And yeah, you see some really good racing around there.
Yeah, and of course the most obvious iconic corner that we all absolutely love. Obviously does catch some people out, especially at the top, especially in the rain as well. It's horrendous in the rain. So let's
yeah, and obviously Spa, you've always got a chance of rain as well.
Yeah, exactly. Not too dissimilar from Germany. But next on the calendar is round 4 for Spain at Catalonia. So Warris, what's your opinions on Spain being on the calendar?
Yeah, I like Spain quite much. I think there's some people who don't, but I think it's got everything, and it's also the reason why they're always testing there in F1. And I really don't mind it. I seem to have quite good pace there over the last few races I've done also in other leagues. So I'm looking forward to that one, and I think it's also in real life a little bit harder to race on, but on this game I think it's quite okay. It's a good challenge to overtake around that track, so a good one, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's a neat balance of driving style around Spain, I believe, isn't it? So it's going to be a good one, I think. And then coming on to round 5, which of course is another chanced rain circuit, and it's of course Germany. So Rymac, what do you feel about Germany being on the calendar?
Yeah, like you say, weather may be another crippling factor. I think strategies will play a lot into that as well. Majority of drivers, if dry, will probably choose to start on mediums, but pretty fast-paced circuit. Only really a couple of places to overtake, but actually got DSQ last season in F3 from that track, just from overrunning turn 1, which again, weather permitting, could cause a few fatalities. So I definitely want to enjoy if the weather's good, but a difficult one if it's raining.
Yeah, I mean, Sector 3 in its own right is quite difficult. You can lose a lot of time in Sector 3, especially in the last 2 corners. But yeah, we'll see what Germany brings this season. Then, of course, coming on to the 6th instalment of Season 10, which is, of course, Brazil. This happens just before our what we call our summer break or mid-season break. So yeah, Charlie, what do you think of Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil always throws up some brilliant races. Again, another track where you can get rain quite often. So yeah, plenty of overtaking chances down into turn 1 and turn 4. You can throw up some really unpredictable races as well with safety cars and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, another iconic circuit on the calendar. It's probably just as iconic as Spa. I think it's brilliant to watch racing around there because it's so undulating. The camera angles can catch 2 or 3 different sections of the circuit in one shot. It's the twists, the turns. It's actually a really short circuit, so it always brings up excitement in the race, which is super interesting from a commentator's point of view and a viewer's point of view. But then, of course, that then brings us to our short summer break that we have at Invictus. And then after the short summer break, we went to round 7 and into another fast short track, which is, of course, Hungary. So, Warisander, I'm pretty sure you like Hungary, but what do you think of Hungary being on the calendar?
Actually, in an hour I've got a race there tonight, so at this point I like it quite much because I've done a lot of practice.
Cool.
I think last season the pace also seemed to be pretty good there. I had some good racing, and yeah, I'm always a person who likes short tracks, so I like this one too.
Yeah.
And I think it's certainly a track where you can make a difference if you're a bit brave and you can play a little bit with your car, certainly through the second sector. Also a track that gives rain sometimes, so I have to be careful for that. And yeah, just another of those tracks that is, I think, liked by a lot of people in the F1 community.
Yeah, I would agree with that, mate. Yeah, but on to round 8. That is, of course, the Temple of Speed, being Italy at Monza. So yeah, Rymac, what do you think of Monza, mate? Yeah,
I don't think there's many, if any, that dislike Monza. Again, it seems to be a trend with the full calendar, but a track that can get rain also. You'll see a lot of low drag setups running here, so some very, very high paced overtakes, especially down that pit straight. But yeah, if you keep it clean through the S's and just try and keep it on the track, you should see yourself picking up some points.
Yeah, I mean, I personally do love Italy only because I've been there and seen the racing, which is an absolute spectacle. A brilliant circuit to walk around. Just I really enjoyed it, but I do find driving around it is a little bit boring. But that's me. I do prefer a bit more technical circuits to drive around, but yeah, always has good races, especially like you say, especially when it's raining. So that'll be a good one for the calendar. Then, of course, bringing on to round 9, which is, of course, Canada. Super fun track to drive around, I think. But yeah, Warisander, what do you think to Canada, mate?
Yeah, Canada can be quite chaotic. Yeah, because of obviously the Wall of Champions and some other places on the track where the wall comes quite close. Important to have a good balance. Also tricky on overtaking because certainly in the last turn in you want to try to overtake there, there's a very big chance it goes wrong, and then you have to set yourself up for overtaking to turn 1, which is also, yeah, because it goes left, right, it's quite difficult. But I think on this game that makes for good racing, and well, Canada, I think it's just one of those tracks. It's not the one I would put in my list as my favorite tracks, but I don't mind going there.
Okay, good. I mean, I personally feel that Canada will benefit the drivers that are on wheels. Definitely suited to wheels, I think. That's my opinion, though. But
yeah, I think you're true on that one. Yeah.
Especially the last turn or the last chicane, should I say, that on a wheel is. I would actually say that chicane is really easy on a wheel, whereas pad it's just a little bit difficult to catch your left and go into the wall of champions. So
yeah, it is. Really, but only if as I was trying to say, normally it's quite okay on the wheel, but as soon as you're behind someone or you're going a little bit too fast and you get oversteer or you're trying to overtake, that's when it becomes tricky. So that's something to watch out for then.
Yeah. Thanks for that, buddy. And then obviously round 10, one of my personal favourites on the calendar actually, which comes to Singapore. One of the best street circuits on the calendar by far, in my opinion. But Rymark, what do you think of Singapore, mate?
Again, more rain is a potential. I think every time that I've done it in league racing, it's been an actual mixture of the two. So a bit of dry, a bit of wet, some strategies coming into play. But yeah, very high-paced circuit, walls closing in close. It's definitely an exciting one though, under the lights. Enjoy it. Feel like we've got good pace round there, but yeah, can't imagine there would be few DNFs. There'll be quite a lot.
Oh, okay, right, that's interesting. I mean, I personally don't think there will be. There might be one or two, but not as bad as say Monaco, right? But yeah, I think Singapore is going to be a good circuit to be on this calendar, and they're going to throw up some decent racing. But I'm looking forward to that one definitely. Then of course on to round 11, another iconic circuit that has been chosen for this season 10 is of course the Britain of Silverstone. So Charlie, what do you think of Silverstone, buddy?
Yeah, it's a classic track. There's not much to say about it. It throws up brilliant racing, and yeah, I mean, again, weather unpredictable around there. Safety cars. You've got a long pit lane, so strategy is key. You don't want to be pitting twice. Keep tyres in check for all the fast corners. Yeah, another great track.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, mate. I mean, when I first started driving around Silverstone, I didn't like it because there is a key to that circuit. But once you get it, once you know how to drive around it, it's super fun. Now moving on to potentially the last race of the calendar, but potentially a bit of an eye opener is Monaco. Now I did actually have a private joke with someone about Monaco, and imagine if there's a three-way battle for the title contention, and they all have incidents. You know, it could then become a six-way fight. So I think Monaco is going to be super interesting, but I'm actually going to open this to all three of you. So we'll start with Warislander, Monaco, in season 10. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's the final race then, isn't it?
It is the final race, yeah.
Wow. If there's a championship on the line, then I think it's going to be very, very, very tense. People will be like, I think if you're going for a championship, you'll have to do time trial all week because it's obviously all about qualifying there, and then it's all about keeping it all out of the wall. Lots of safety cars probably, so set for a lot of spectacle, I guess. If it's really about the win or the points for someone who wants to get the championship. Certainly, if you get a scenario like we had last season in F1, where the final race decided it all, I think it's very tricky, but also very exciting to have that one as the final race of the season.
I think it's quite mean, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
If you want to be champion, you got to show it, and also on the most difficult of tracks, obviously.
Yeah, if it was a title defense on my part, then now I won't be champion around Monaco. I guarantee that. But yeah, okay, Rymac, Monaco, been on the calendar and been the last race. What's your thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, exactly as Warren said there. It's a very exciting track. Practice is going to make perfect. You'll need to be putting a lot of laps in just to try and keep it as clean as possible. So, and yeah, just knowing your limits, trying to keep it away from the walls, keeping it tidy. But nah, I like Monaco, but exactly that. It's one that you need to put a lot of time and effort into to make sure that you're going to keep all four wheels on the track and not in a barrier.
Yeah, not dinking those wings. So then, final word from Charlie on Monaco, mate. What's your thoughts on Monaco for this season?
Yeah, just echoing basically what the other guys said. You need very high concentration around there, and the only other thing I can say about it is if the title is on the line going into that, it's probably going to end up in tears.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, that's season 10 or season X as I'm calling it. That's the calendar announced. It was announced previously, but I thought I'd give a recap to that. Now, usually we won't actually go through the calendar in the paddock. What we will do is run through the results of the week we've just had. So that'll be the difference for next week's show. We won't be going through the calendar. It will be the results. And of course, driver reactions. We're going to focus in the paddock with the driver reactions to bring you closer as possible to our drivers. So before we start the next instalment of this paddock show, we are actually going to go pitch our drivers head to head on a qualifying hot lap. So Warislander, before we actually go into the lobby and start up, just introduce yourself, what league are you in, what league have you been in, and then we'll move on to Rymac and Charlie.
Yep. So I gotta introduce myself now.
Yeah, go on, Boris. It's about what league you're in.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so I'm the Warislander. I'm driving in Ferrari together with Burmeister, and I'm in for F1 League for the Monday nights in the Victor's Racing League this season.
Good stuff. Cheers for that, Warislander. Rymac, what league are you in, please, buddy?
Just been promoted to F2. Raced in F3 last season and won drivers and constructors championship, so pitting myself against the big boys, and somehow I've ended up in here tonight with the even bigger boys.
Ah, there you go. Well, congratulations, buddy. Great stuff. And then coming on to Charlie. Just give us an intro to you, mate. What league you in?
Yeah, obviously you can see I'm Charlie, and I'm in the IRL F1 League alongside Warislander on Mondays, racing in the McLaren alongside the very fast Hercules. So I've got a good challenge this season.
So there you go. That's your drivers participating in the hot laps this evening. So guys, if you want to ready up, we'll go to the circuit and we'll start setting up.
So Charlie, you think Hercules is the favorite for the championship this season?
No, I don't. I think CRG Gamer is.
He's even quicker.
Yeah, very quick. From what I hear, very quick.
He is in Racing Point?
I don't know. I think he's in the Renault alongside John Polainen.
Oh yeah, he is alongside John Polainen, yeah.
That's a deadly duo right there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting so competitive now, F1. I feel like.
Super exciting F1. It's all the tiers are super exciting. Absolutely love watching these. So guys, if you are listening back, you can catch all the races live streamed on YouTube with commentary. Of course, Monday nights is the F1 League, Tuesday nights is the Realistic Performance League, and then of course on Wednesday we have the two Equal Performance Leagues running side by side, which is of course F2 and F3, all streamed live at 8 PM for your pleasure and enjoyment. Now guys, what we are going to do this evening, all drivers will put the softest compound tyre on. We will see Warislander go out first, and we'll just get Warislander to discuss the track as we used to do in the hot laps. So once Warislander comes to start his hot lap, we will then see Rymac come out to start his out lap. And then same will happen for Charlie when Rymac starts his fast lap. So then all you guys will see is a fast lap from Waris, a fast lap from Rymac, and then a fast lap from FPL Charlie. So Warislander, have you got your setup locked in and ready?
Yeah, I can push the drive out button now if you want.
Perfect, go for everybody. Rymac, are you all set and ready to go?
Yeah, sorted.
Cool. So you just stay there until Waris crosses the line to start his hot lap, and then Charlie, are you all good to go, mate?
Yeah, locked and loaded.
Fantastic. So Warislander, if you want to take us round on your out lap and just give us a bit of an introduction of what you do to navigate around this circuit of Suzuka.
So coming out of the pit lane, And also at the start, it's going to be quite tricky. It's always a bit of a positioning issue into this corner because it tightens a lot. We've seen a lot of crashes also in real life racing here. Then obviously coming into the S's, little lifty, sometimes flat out when you're low on your S. Just going down the gears a little bit. Try to stay to the right a little bit for this one so you can take the next, I believe it's Dunlop, full throttle. Coming up onto the Deckners, one gear back, and then 2 or 3. The right hand under the bridge, you go under 130R there. Braking at the orange board there, I go very wide there, but it's not a problem to go a little bit wide because you pick up some exit speed, which is always good. And then coming to spoon, also tricky. You'll have to try to keep it on track, but go as wide as possible and then have a good exit. Go also too wide here, probably because the tires are still cold, but now you're coming up obviously to what was once one of the most feared corners in Formula 1. Now it's pretty much a little bit of steering input and that's it. And then coming up to the lap, putting all the systems to the highest. There's a very nasty bump here on this game, so you have to try to avoid it. Stay to the left of the track. Then you can mitigate it as best as possible. And now I'll start my lap.
Perfect, right, Matt, you should be coming out now. So as we're watching Morris Landers storm down to turn 1, beautiful turn in, just catching enough of the curve, but not enough to destabilise the car, as then of course we come up towards and try and navigate through the S's. Watching the curve on the right, not taking too much, because that will spin the car. And again on the left, not too much, just a little bit of unstabilisation there, as you've got a bit too much curve. Absolutely pinning this is Morris Lander, absolutely fantastic stuff from our former F2 champion. Of course now just coming down to Dunlop. And then through Degner. Now another area that can spin the car, so that you stay off those curves. And if it goes wide, you do get in that grass. Now the hairpin, relatively easy, however it is difficult if you don't shift down in time or you don't get your acceleration down quick enough. So another place for overtakes to be had. Just keep it nice and smooth down. Coming up to spoon curve. Beautifully tucked in there from Wiseland, and of course coming all the way down, chasing his way down to obviously the most iconic 130R. As Morris said, yeah, not a very difficult corner in these modern F1 cars, pretty much pinned to the max. Casio triangle, gets it licked up nice there, takes a lot of curve on the last one. Not enough to invalidate the flat. Beautifully done from Wislander there, and he comes across with 128.6. Nice one, Wislander. That's a very tight lap, mate. I'm just going to jump on board with Charlie now. Oh no, sorry, Rymac. So just on board with Rymac now, coming through Casio triangle, killing a bollard. And he comes across the line to start his lap time, or his hot lap. Again, going down to turn 1, it's going to be a super nice smooth turning. Beautifully done from Rymac there. Going through the snake curves now, or the S's as they're formerly known. Yep, staying off those curves, they are dangerous, especially when wet as well. I think this is one of the hardest ones done lot, but does it absolutely beautiful, don't go too far out. Keeps it linked up nicely, absolutely brilliant there. Now of course, Degner 1 and 2. This corner here, very difficult if you get that wrong, and of course you've got that gravel trap waiting for you on the left. Coming to the hairpin, brakes beautifully, no lock-ups. Beautiful downshifts. Then of course we have 200R, and bringing us onto the infamous spoon curve. Very tidy from Rymac there. Full throttle all the way down the back stretch towards 130R. Try and get a little bit of a tight line. Try and get as much time as you can coming through there, but not steep enough to scrub off any speed. So that's the key there. And of course, Casio triangle. Oh, Opens up DRS, comes across the line with a 129.219. Not bad at all, Ryan, Matt. Well done on that, pal. While we're waiting for Charlie to start his lap, let's see what he's doing. He's warming those tyres up nicely, just going down the back stretch now towards 130R, so it won't be too long till we start to see FPL Charlie do his hot lap. Across the CO triangle. Another overtaking opportunity for heavy breakers or late breakers. So here we go, for FPL Charlie starting his hot lap, comes across the line. Again, as with the others, he's going to want a nice smooth turn in here. Takes a nice chunk of curb, nice and tight, and links it back up, coming through towards the S's. Little bit of unstabilised rear axle there, but nothing too serious. It's nice and quick coming through there, yep, brilliant stuff. Of course, the infamous Degner coming up. Can we keep it clean coming through here? Yes, we can. Sets a purple sector in sector 1. Chasing down the hairpin now. Beautiful hairpin section there from FPL Charlie. Navigating 200R. And of course, speed his way down to Spoon Curve. Oh, looks like he got a bit of grasp, but just got away with that. I think he's trying to give us a heart attack here. 2 out of 3 drivers have finished clean. Let's hope we can make it 3 for 3. Down the back stretch, we've got again, once again, to 130R. Takes an ever so slightly wider line there, keeps the top speed as high as possible there. Navigating Castillo Triangle very well there. And of course, the last corner, which is the last curve. DRS opens up and comes across the line 129.219. Really good. Oh, sorry, 128.940. I do apologise, Charlie. Absolutely fantastic from all 3 of our drivers there. Warislander obviously taking the top spot with a 128.600. Then FPL Charlie 128.940, and then Ryan Mack with a 129.219. Ryan Mack, absolute brilliant lap, mate. You cannot beat yourself up about that. You're only 3/10 from Charlie, mate. So absolute fantastic lap. So yeah, Charlie, we'll meet you back in the pit boxes, mate, and we'll have a quick chat about everything. Unless you can talk while coming back in, Charlie?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it wasn't a great lap. I did some practice here the other day and I was able to do a 27.9. So obviously there's a lot of time to improve on that lap time I just did.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cold track as well, mate. So normally you do your fastest lap, what, 3 or 4 minutes before, if not at the end. So there's a massive factor, you know, having a green track like that. But it looks tidy from our perspective, mate. So congratulations on that, buddy. Ryan Mack, what about yourself, mate? How did you find your hot lap?
Felt sector 1 was pretty clean. Sector 3, there's not really much that can go wrong, but just looking at the timing sheets, I've dropped half a second to both Charlie and Warislander, so I think it might have just been the double left-hander before heading up to 130R.
Yeah.
Didn't really use as much track as I could have. I don't think that was a full half second, but can't complain. I'm not that far into the 128s on a good day, so
yeah. Yeah, fair play. And then obviously going on to Warislander, who set the fastest time this evening. Waris, how did you find your lap this evening, your hot lap?
Well, it's a bit weird. I'm looking at the sector times right now, and I had the most issues in sector 1, I felt like, but that's where I made the difference, it seems. Yeah, I didn't do so much practice, so there's still a lot of work to do on the setup, I found out. Was a bit unstable through the entire lap. Certainly through sector 1, I had to catch it a few times. So yeah, it was still quick. I'm happy with that. I think that's a good sign, but there's lots of work to be done, and well, I will obviously do that. So we'll see where we can end up at Monday. But it was fun to drive around. It's always fun, Suzuka. So that was good at least.
Yeah, Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, yeah, great stuff tonight, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure watching you. But obviously, of course, next week, if you are listening back to the show tonight, it will be slightly different next week, because what we will be doing is giving out the results of all our tiers of how it happened in Suzuka, who won, who was on the podium, who lost, all the information we could possibly give you about the results in all of our 4 tiers, which is of course Formula 1, Realistic Performance, and then the 2 e-performance leagues of F2 and F3. Of course, all streamed live at 8 o'clock UK time. Please join us, guys, and if you can, subscribe to us. Hit that bell. You'll be notified every time that Invictus goes live. And of course, you can find us on social media. Invictus RL is our Twitter handle, and Invictus Racing League for Facebook. So check us out, guys. Please subscribe. But yeah, Warislander, thanks for joining me, mate. Charlie, same to you, and Rymac. And hopefully we will see you all on the podiums next week.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, mate.
Thanks,
No worries,
Dan.
guys. Okay, take care, guys, and we will see you on Monday for the Formula 1 race at 8 o'clock.